In this video, you're going to learn pro tips from people who have sold books on Amazon successfully. This is my Feed the Beast group. It's 100% free. If you guys want to join the group, we do live meetings every week. The link is below. All these people are having success selling on Amazon. They're sending shipments to Amazon every week, feeding the beast. So enjoy. Oftentimes they'll share strategies on how they found books, and they'll also share, different things that are working for them. And you'll learn like little nuanced questions that you probably are already wondering or might ask in the future. So enjoy the video.
So at a certain point, when you notice your sales are slowing down, you'll want to lower your prices or match buy box or even raise your prices sometimes. And a repricer helps achieve that. So I'd say a couple hundred books. It's probably when it would be positive.
Well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there at the end of this week. I'll have a couple hundred books by the end of this week.
Yeah. The thing is though, like you can let those prices just sit for a while. And I would just manage them, like check your inventory. You either do that in Seller Central or GoToLister, go to inventory on GoToLister and just go through and make sure that you're matching the buy box. If you're the only FBA offer and you're too low, maybe you price up a little bit. Just get familiar with changing the prices. But I would say about 30 to 60 days after you send your inventory, that's when you want to start like aggressively repricing it. What's up, Charles?
Okay, I just got one more.
Yeah, go for it. Bang them out.
I got about 20 books that are restricted, and I keep requesting, for access. But so eventually, are they going to let me, set me free and be able to, list anything at some point?
Yeah. You won't be able to sell the textbooks. Those are the ones that they don't let anyone sell anymore unless you're like EPEG approved, which is like a $50,000 process. But most books you're probably talking about, you'll be able to sell hopefully in the next couple. Like the more sales you get, and as long as you don't get returns, which you shouldn't, they'll start to open up more categories. But even within the book category, they'll start to open up more brands. So I would just set those books aside. If you can, request approval for them. If not, just wait and it'll open up pretty soon.
I mean, I've been requesting approval like more than once. Like I just keep requesting. Is that a little too much, you think?
No, you can keep requesting. Like I've requested for this one brand probably 100 times already, and they're still denying it. That's not very common. It's a brand new account. That's why. But Amazon doesn't punish you for requesting more. Like it's not uncommon to have to do it 10, 20 times.
Okay.
Yeah, but your sales history is what's going to help you.
Okay.
That reputation. Yeah.
That's all I got right now.
Cool. What's up, Arbas? Natalia? What's good? Charles, rocking the beard. How you doing, Charles?
Doing well, man. Doing really well. Like Tuesday nights is yoga night, so it's hard but tonight we canceled, so I wanted to jump on and see your face and say what's up to everybody, man. Got a ton of books to scan in. Got 94 books.
Nice.
Weekend, yeah. So excited.
How's the business going overall? You getting some decent sales?
Yeah. The last 30 days, I'm up over 3K. So I'm really starting to see the inertia pick up and getting better at understanding what books do well. So I'm not buying books that aren't going to do well.
Yeah. What do you think you learned? Like, what are you kind of avoiding now?
A lot of novels. I don't even like. The first thing I go to is spiritual or history. A lot of religion does really well. But yeah, just the fiction novels I don't really get into unless it's just a minimal books to scan. I usually try to focus on what's been selling. Caleb helped me out a little bit with like the tracking software, and getting that all set up and loaded up to really kind of like see those data points. And it's all so new to me, but big learning curve for it. It's been fun.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I mean, a lot of you guys probably have heard of Caleb, the book flipper. Hold on, let me mute somebody real quick. Let's see, David, I think. Caleb Roth is the book flipper, and it's kind of funny that the reason why you're selling books is because you know him personally, where everyone else just knows him from YouTube. And you met me personally too before hopping on this. So you're kind of rare in that sense. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Great, the more opportunity that the algorithm's going to find who you're
The algorithm's going to find it, guys.
Yeah.
Where are you finding most of your books right now?
Oh man, library. You know, uh, the universe kind of just guides me, in spirit puts me in these incredible places. But a couple of estate sales that hit really big, and like I know now that I need to learn Keepa, because there was a bunch of books that didn't have ISBNs, and they look like they were books that there was money to be made off of, and they were selling them so cheap. I mean, this guy had a library of books that, he's probably holding on to and then passed away. And then, the people that come in to sell the estate, they don't know anything about the books. So they mark them for, $3-4. And so, yeah, that's going to be another challenge, learning Keepa to understand like what those books are, and then having the time to do that. Libraries and thrift stores used to be my first go-to, but they're kind of like the third now, just because I know there's a lot of scanners in Jacksonville, a lot. And I'll show up and I'll get through 500 books and no fines. So then I know that somebody's been there. Or, there's certain things that you learn where the label's scratched off a little bit, where somebody tried to scan a barcode. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the thrift stores are good. They're better in the smaller towns.
Yeah, for sure. And then if you can get any opportunity to go upstream, I'm sure Caleb's told you this, but the further away you get from the source, me and Ty were talking about this today. Like, yeah, thrift stores are good, libraries are good, but what's great is getting backroom access to the libraries, building relationships with the managers, friends of the library, directors of the library, going directly to someone's personal collection rather than waiting for them to donate it to Goodwill. And then when it gets to Goodwill, everyone else scans it, and then you show up, get sloppy seconds. So yeah, I would talk to Caleb. Did he reach out to you at all about that book deal that's going down?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe mention it to him. He does a lot of like these, or he used to, but he actually called me the other day and see if I wanted to help him with it. But he just landed a pretty good source. I don't know if he's going to pursue it or not, but feel free to maybe reach out to him like, hey, Avery was talking about this, and just see what he says.
I will. Man, he's not to take away from the Feed the Beast meeting, but I know he's got his hands full right now, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He's got a little baby on the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share victories of this week? It can be as small as scanning your first book. It can be as big as sending in $1,000 shipment.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, so I've been doing this for a couple weeks. I got a couple hundred books in there, but made about $250 in sales so far. So
heck yeah.
It's all from mostly from thrift stores, but I put ads on Facebook and on next neighbor or next.
Yep, next door.
Yeah, next door, and I got a couple people that donated. So
what'd you post on next door to get books?
Just that I had a business and. Just that I had a business that I'm getting books back into people's hands, and it's pretty generic, really. But
yeah, so what you guys can do is download the Nextdoor app. Sometimes they make you verify your. Did they make you verify your address or no?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
I was already on there before this.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then once a week or once every 2 weeks, post on there. You can either post a picture of you with books, or you can post like a little flyer type thing with books, or just Google an image of books and then say, hey, I have a business that sells books. I'm willing to do a free book pickup at no charge to you. And you can go pick up somebody's whole collection. It's a lot of work, load 20 boxes in your car. Before you know it, you'll have a couple thousand profit, and so just be transparent, be upfront. You don't have to hide that you're making money on them. Like, they're happy to get the books back in the hands of readers. Every once in a while, like 1 in 20 people will be like, you're just selling these books for a profit, blah, blah, blah. But they don't really understand business. So ignore those people. Other victories. Beth, do you have any victories this week?
I do. I found this book right here. I sent you an email, actually.
Okay.
And there are 4 of those that are being sold, none of them on FBA. Two of them are going for $750, and the other two are going for $1,000.
Can you drop the ISBN or hold the book up real quick?
It is CZ Guest American Icon, and the number is 978-084-7839-711.
All right. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Yep, $749. And I'll share my screen just as soon as Amazon doesn't share all the products I've been looking at so you guys don't steal them. And all right, here we go. Boom, it's looking pretty good actually. Yeah,
So it was a Catholic church sale that I went to, and I paid $2 for this book.
nice. Yeah, so you could list it for $749. The most it's sold for in the last 3 months is $421. So what I'm looking at, guys, here is this black line is the price. So you can see the prices change. When copies sell out, the price goes up generally, or people just change their price. Like I think it's a good practice to reprice up at nighttime. Why not? Always give the opportunity for the books to recover in price. If you only ever price down, you're only ever going to price down. And so it's important to price up. That's kind of down the road though. And I lay out that in module 5 on starthumble.com and in our Be Cool interview. So if you look up Romer the Romer Be Cool settings, that'll also pop up. But jumping ahead of myself here, with Keepa, you can see this is the price. The black line is the price. And then the green line is every time that green line goes down, that means it's a sale. The sales rank is dropping because somebody just purchased the book. And when somebody purchases the book, Amazon says, oh, this is a faster selling book. So the fastest selling book on Amazon is ranked number 1. You'll hear authors brag about, hey, my book's the best seller. If the book is 100,000 ranked book, then that means it's ranked 100,000. That's a hard word to say. I don't know why. It's ranked 100,000 amongst the millions of books, which is still pretty damn good. 100,000 when 10% of Amazon sales are book sales. It's a huge category. 100,000, still pretty damn good. A million probably sells about 12 to 15 times a year. So a million ranked book, you're kind of getting up there. And then 2 million plus, not as good. So it looks like this is at 1.5 million right now. It sold for $421, and then the next seller was at $749. So the price jumped right back up. It also sold for $300 2 times right here. And then looks like it sold for $200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And so you can pull this up on your phone. You can keep on your phone when you're at the library. So let's just say the book was $20. That's a pretty big investment. But if Scout IQ said it was $1,000 profit, you shouldn't just leave it on the shelf. Sometimes people see $1,000 profit and they're like, oh, this is a scam, or it's not real, it's a fluke, the app's freaking out. In reality, the app's just looking at the current price on Amazon, which in this case is $700. And what you can do is look at the history and say, oh, it's never sold once for $700, but it's sold for $421, it's sold for $300, and it's sold for $200 several times. So Keepa's pretty simple to read. I try to teach my parents this. I was at the house the other day and we pulled it up on the TV and I was like trying to explain it to them. And, the first time, I guess, learning a graph, like if you haven't, looked at graphs in school for a while, it can be kind of overwhelming. But once you get the hang of it, it is really easy. So just make sure you understand the y-axis and the x-axis. This is the x-axis is time. It's a month. So this is over the, last year. You can expand it to all time. So all time, this book used to sell as low as $100, but this is a really good book. And it looks like the number of used copies has really gone down. So if we look at more historical data, we can see there's 4 people selling this right now. A few months ago, December, 13 people are selling it. So it's a good sign when the offers go up and down too, because that means people are selling out. So I would list this personally. You could list it at $420. You probably get the sale because it's sold for that in the past. It's sold 2 times for $300. I definitely price it above $300. And if you're not getting a sale, you could drop it to $200. But I bet you sell this thing. You could even price it for like $500. If you really wanted to like milk it, you could try $600 for a while. You could leave it at $749 or maybe try $600. If that doesn't work, $500, then $400. but eventually you will sell this book for several $100s. So congrats. You're muted right now. There you go. Boom.
Thank you. Not bad for a $2 profit or a
Exactly.
$2 book.
Yeah.
And that was just one. I only spent $61 at the event, and I haven't been able to go through all the books yet, but there were this one and a couple others for like $50 a piece. So that was pretty cool. And I'm going on another trip, so I'll see what I can find as I go down to Florida again. So
Be sure to write off those miles and then meet up with Charles while you're down there. What part of Florida are you going through?
I'm going to Jacksonville, actually.
Oh, okay. Maybe you guys could meet up and have lunch. It's always valuable to network with other sellers.
Yeah,
Is that the guy?
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Yes. So I will look you up on are you on Feed the Beast Facebook?
I am, and it's under Ludovico.
Ludovico? Okay.
Awesome. Other wins, victories.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Yo, what's up, Arbas? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man.
So I shipped my first 6 boxes just yesterday. So finally got some inventory out the door. I was going to Value Village, and my buy cost over there was like $5-6, but I was finding a lot of problems with stuff. But someone on the call, a guy from Edmonton last time, I've been talking to him, and he told me to go to Wynn's, another thrift store, and I went there today. Buy cost 20 cents, and I came up with like a bunch of profits in there. So
Yeah.
expanding my sources, and I actually did some door knocking too. So I door knocked for just a couple hours this week, and I got like a couple $100 in profit, all 3 books.
Where'd you go to door knock?
What's that?
Where did you go to door knock?
I literally just, I know what the sort of the rich neighborhoods in my area are. So I just literally went a couple, parked up, and just indoors for like an hour or 2.
Dude, that's awesome. What'd you say when they opened the door?
I was just like, hey, my name is Arbas. I just started a used book selling business. Just wanted to know if you guys had books in the house that were taking up space. I could take out your hands for you.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Super simple. Yeah, I got a lot. I have
What
like
kind of
3
responses did you get from people? How many people told you to screw off, and how many people were like, okay?
Nobody told me to screw off. Like, the worst response I would get is just, oh, sorry, I don't have any books. Like, most people were like, hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, I got a ton.
Dude,
I
that's
like-
next level, bro. I've never really heard of anyone doing that. Congrats to you, man. That's
Yeah, I mean,
that's good.
I've heard you say, like, you know, you go to thrift stores and, like, if you're not getting any luck, you got to think about where the books are coming from. So I was like, yeah, you're in people's houses, so let me just go there and see what happens.
Yeah, that's like your own private estate sale.
Yeah, so sweet. I got like 3 meetings booked for like next week because there's 3 people who had so many books that they're like, I just can't sort this out right now. So come back in like a couple days and like I'll have them like a bunch ready for you. So I'll make a
Awesome.
lot more.
And what are you offering them for the books?
Nothing. I'm just like, do you just have any that I could take off your hands? I'm just giving them free. I'm not.
You're next level, bro. That's awesome. Congrats to you.
Yeah, so that's it.
How are your sales doing? You get any sales yet?
No, so like I just sent my first couple boxes in. So I have zero sales, no profit yet. Nothing.
You don't have Ty's luck.
What's that?
Ty, when he made his first FBA shipment, and while the books were still in his truck, they started selling.
Really?
Amazon. Yeah, because Amazon trusted his account enough to give him sales. They knew those books were inbound. They liked his price. They knew they were going to receive it in X number of days. They offered the customer probably 7-day shipping or something, and he sold the books. So
It's crazy. Yeah, I can't use go-to listers. So like my listing software is I just put one price, and then I'm using Be Cool to reprice. So when I get home today, I'm gonna set all those prices.
yeah, gotcha. That's good. Yeah, just make sure to go through. Make sure your FBA offer 1. If it's a fast seller book, you could price a little bit higher. You know, I'm actually going to drop a YouTube video tomorrow morning on how to price books. So if you guys keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that'd be valuable. I do got a couple quick questions for you.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So some of these books that I'm getting for free, like they've got like $2 profits, like a few of them, really high sales score. Like, still send those in, right? I got them for free.
$2 profit. If the sales score is low, you could send them in. But if the sales score is high, it's not good. But I'm sure you mean the E-score is high.
E-score, yeah. E-score.
E-score high is good. E-score, the higher the E-score, the more sales. The lower the sales rank, the more sales. $2 is kind of getting down there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll know as time goes on, but I would just make sure they're really fast sellers, like maybe under 100,000 rank, 100,000 sales rank, or E-score of above, like, I don't know, maybe 60 or something.
Yeah, they're in like the 100s, 200s for each.
Yeah. In that case, if it's like a 151 plus E-score, you're safe. Just know if you send in $2 profit books and they're like a million ranked, at scale, let's say you send in 100 books, 20% won't sell. So 20% you're going to pay for 20 books to be removed. You'll pay upwards of $2. It means you're paying $40 in removal fees. And then that's going to take away for you sold 60. Let's say you sold the other 60 for $2 profit a piece. You're making $60. You're making $120 there minus 40. So you're at $80. Still good, but you just got to be careful. Like what the worst case scenario, what you see is people just load their inventory up with a bunch of low profit books that are super high rank. Like, why isn't this working? What's like you've been sending in low demand inventory that's low profit. The opposites, or not the opposite, but if you send in, and this takes kind of like skill after a while, you'll realize like that book that was it Beth that just shared that book? Beth shared the book that was selling for $749. I would send in 1,000 of those books because even if I have to pay removal fees on 50%, 500, I have to pay $1,000 in removal fees. I don't care because all I need to do is sell like 3 of the books to make up for the removal fees, you know? And so that's the beauty of Scout IQ is it scales. So Scout IQ has triggers. And so they make sure that if a book does ding for $2 profit, it's probably a fast seller. And if a book dings for $50 profit, it doesn't mean it's a slow seller, but if it is a slow seller, it needs to have that higher profit to get the ding. So generally you're pretty safe, but I would be careful. If you find yourself listing a lot of those books, I would just double check, make sure you're not overly optimistic and make sure, you know, the books look good. And maybe you could even upload it to the Facebook group and be like, hey guys, like this is what I have, and like upload like what you've listed in your batch or something. And people will be honest in the Facebook groups. They're not afraid to shut you down if they think it sucks. So that would just be a little bit careful. But generally, yeah, especially if they're free books.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, like I'm not getting a whole lot, but I've gotten quite like a few from door knocking.
Yeah, probably that 20-cent place you went, you probably got a lot of the cheaper books there.
Yeah, $2-3 bucks. Some were like 5 to 10 though. So
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate that, brother. Anyone else? What's up, Gene? How you doing?
Good. Good. I'm doing good. I'm got kind of a different situation. You're saying go where the books are. I actually am on the board of directors for a thrift store.
Okay.
So it's a nonprofit. So we have had so many books donated that nobody's touched because they didn't know what to do with them. So I said, well, I'm going to start selling them on Amazon and start scanning them. We've sent in probably about, I think my inventory right now is a little over 200 books. Now, when you say, when you talk about and you brag about your sales, is that the dollar that people are paying? Is that sales where they say how many that people actually paid for the book? Or are you looking at how much you're taking home?
What are you
when you talk about when you I use the word brag when you say this is what my sales were? Is that the
generally when I share my sales, that's like gross sales. So like let's just say I did 100,000 in sales over a few months. Out of that, there's probably going to be at least 50,000 in Amazon fees. So we're left with 50,000, and then out of that, you're going to.
In that sense, yeah. So in that sense, we've made over $2,000 in sales since the very end of October.
Nice.
In books that I've sent in. So
congrats. And you do it just for the thrift store or for yourself?
These are all books that were donated to the for the thrift store. But at the same time, I'm going. If anything happens to my position at the thrift store, then I know where I'm going. I'm going to go start, because I'll even do that when I'm out and about. I still look at books. I still scan them. I still pay a couple of bucks and bring them back. And they go to the thrift. They go to the nonprofit. But I know how to. I know how to do it now, so I could actually do it for myself if I needed to. 100%. But it's been fun, and we've got like 2 pallets, like 6 cubic feet pallets that have already been scanned, and they're just sitting there. We're going to have a big book sale of the ones that are not profitable for Amazon, and I'm thinking of doing them by the pound so that people actually take them away. If you just do a quarter a pound, and then it doesn't matter if it's a big book, little book, paperback. And then those will all go away because we get donations all the time of books.
Are you selling them on which Amazon account are you using? Is it the Thrift Store's Amazon account, or are you using your own? And then
it's my own Amazon account, but I have the Thrift Store's information in there. I mean, it's me, but then I have like the where it's shipping from is their address, and
nice.
So it's I'm using it for them. I have sold a few things before on Amazon, so I already had a personal account, but now I have the business or the premium, whatever they call it.
Yeah, and what you can do
of those.
In GoToLister, you can add like the source as that thrift store, and then that way, later you could ask me or ask someone in the group. Charles was just talking about this. There's a spreadsheet we can use that breaks down exactly how much profit came from that source. So like, let's just say this scales up and you're doing $5,000 a month just from this thrift store, but then you want to do stuff on your own too. You could just track the source and put Gene for your own books, and then you could put X thrift store for the other books, and then you can kind of keep it clean that way.
That's what I was wondering about. Can you have 2 different places for that? Well, what I'm doing is in my SKU, I'm putting a J or an A for the thrift store's Annie's Art Attic. So in that sense, I can keep track of them kind of, but I'm really not interested in separating them at this point. But if I get to where, that is an issue, then I can set that up.
100%.
The one issue I did have just with my last shipment is one of those, this SKU cannot be found errors. And I just had to pull the shipment because it wouldn't clear. I kept refreshing and trying to go back, and it wouldn't clear. So I just had to pull that shipment and start over, pull that book out.
Yeah, we should make it to, you didn't know what book it was?
I knew what book it was, and I looked it up, and it's there, and it passed everything else except that, it wouldn't pass that error, so I couldn't finish the shipment on Amazon.
That is. Did you reach out to our support?
No. It wasn't.
It could have been like a SKU you've already used in the past.
Well, I looked at my list, and it was pretty far down the list in there, and I've run into that where I've deleted a line, and then I went back and it reused the same SKU, but that wasn't the issue. But it's happened a couple of times. It's just.
Well, I'm saying it could have been like a book from like a previous batch, like weeks ago. And then
that's a possibility.
It's taking a SKU that you've already used. If your SKU is simple, like date, source, if your SKU.
But these are continuous. So it would have been a new SKU, but with that in mind.
001 at the end, you're adding the counter.
Yeah, I'll have to look again at what it actually was right now. I just have to.
You can also add random number. If you go to SKU settings, you can add random number, and then it creates a random number at the very end. So
Okay, I'll try that when I put it back in the next shipment.
Yeah.
So then one more thing is on inventory. Should I go through, because these are random books, they're not like all one of one thing. So should I go through and when a book is sold, take it out of my inventory? Is it better to have that inventory list?
I would just leave it. You don't have to take it. I've never taken them out.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad to sit in on these. It's good.
Yeah. Thanks, Gene. Thanks for sharing.
Right.
Natalia, how we doing?
Pretty good. They approved me. And so I've been scanning the books into GoToLister. I accidentally somehow bought the wrong thermal printer. So my new wireless one is on the way. So
nice.
Yeah, really really excited about that. But I did have a question. So I'm going to have enough to send 5 boxes in when I do this. Is that one shipment? I mean, or do I have to send just one 50-pound box and I have to stop?
So if you look at the go-to lister tutorial, generally what I recommend is you list enough books to fit in one box. So about 50 pounds worth, maybe 20, 30 books. Send the shipment. If they're all going to one location, I go ahead, I call it, it's done. I send the shipment out. That way you don't have to do box contents and it's a super simple flow. But if you send one box worth and it splits it to 3 different warehouse destinations, then what I would recommend is list all 5 boxes at once, because if you only list 20 books and they split it 3 different ways, 14 books might be going somewhere, 5 books might be going somewhere else, and then 1 book somewhere else. So instead of having to send 1 book to an Amazon warehouse, which is going to cost you like $2, and that's $2 per pound, that's way too much to pay. Instead, I would list like 200 books, and then you're sending 60 to one location, 60 to another, and then 80 to another. And that's enough to fit in boxes. And then we have a really simple flow called box content flow, where you can provide box contents within GoToLister. So then you'll rescan the book a second time. You'll just scan the label you put on the book. It'll tell you what warehouse to put it into, what box to put it into, what warehouse destination it's going to. And then when you fill up the first box, you would click on add box, and then you'd add another scan books in there, and so on and so forth. So those tutorials are on YouTube, and they also were emailed to you when you signed up for GoToLister. You can look at box content flow or one box method. So
okay, good deal. I hadn't really gotten that far because I'm still waiting on the printer. I've just been trying to think outside the box. Is anybody here in Austin? No.
Anyone in Austin? I do know a guy in Austin, actually.
Not Austin, but Houston.
Houston.
Yeah.
So I got the idea. UT has I think it's like the 9th or 10th biggest library system. They have, I don't know, like 9 million books or something. And they also have this, what is it? Basically all their surplus of materials, chairs, books, everything, 2 days a week, they'll be open. And I haven't gotten to go yet. They do sell books, so I'm excited to go look there. But I don't know if, somebody's already thought of that and already gone through all the books. But if they haven't, library books are
satellite locations as well. So do they ship everything to main campus and have this sale, or is there
I'm sure it's just the main campus, because the main campus is so huge.
My guess is that you will hit a jackpot. You'll probably do pretty good then.
Yeah, I'm excited. My husband teaches at UT, and he's been looking around. There's all these like random books that his graduate students have just left through the years. And he was scanning them last night. Oh my gosh, he brought home $500 worth of books just laying around the studio. So that have been there for years. So just trying to think outside the box.
Natalia, I just connected you with a guy named Spencer via email. I found your email. So if you check that, he's in Austin. He's been hustling. I don't know what his sales are up to, but he was sending like 1,000 books a month. So I met up with him when I was out in Austin. So feel free to connect with him.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'll just be glad when they go in.
Yeah, you got this.
I found a couple of sources. Yeah, a friend of mine was a preacher. Well, I guess he's still technically a minister, but he retired preaching. And I went over to his house and I got 3 IKEA bags worth of books, everything that he could pull off his shelf. He politely just handed it over. So
congrats.
Yeah. And then I don't know if everyone may have a free cycle. It's a website. It's called Free Cycle. And you just connect to your areas and people that are donating things, they just want to give it away. They're not trying to sell it. And all you have to do is pick it up. You just email me, say, I want it. And you pick it up, and there are books on there all the time.
Oh, that's awesome. Freecycle.com?
Yeah, freecycle.com.
Heck yeah, that's brand new information there. I never heard of that.
You got one pro tip. How about that?
Yeah, it's a pro tip. I have to start charging for these.
Yeah. Other than that, Goodwill Outlet. I don't know if anybody has those in their area, but I went to a Goodwill Outlet, and there are about 4 or 5 of them here. And so I don't know if that's where the books go before they go out to the other locations in addition to what's already there.
Yeah, I found outlets generally have like more fresh material.
Yeah. It's madness though. It's like the bell ringing at the market because they bring new stuff out, fresh, I guess, stuff out every hour. And they make you wait behind the line. And then they say go, and they just dive in. I just stand back and wait a second.
Yeah, I get it.
Throwing your elbows, yeah.
I've been to some crazy library sales. I was in this library sale in New Jersey, and I've never seen adults act like kids before. Like, and these people were like 50, 60 plus, and they were like pushed over the textbooks. All the textbooks fell on the ground, and they didn't clean them up, and they walked around. I'm just like, you guys need to calm down, take a breath. You guys need to learn how to find books that aren't at library sales, use other strategies, because you guys are acting like this is like the end of your life right here.
Yeah, it was wild, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's like in human nature too. Like when everyone does something, like whenever you take a test in class in high school, I remember everybody would get up at the same time. Like all of a sudden, everyone just finished the test at the same time. It's like everyone just stands up because everyone's been waiting. They don't want to be awkward.
They don't want to be first, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing at library sales. When everyone starts scanning books like crazy, everyone else is like, your brain just turns on. I think it's like a human or an animal instinct where it's just like, oh, we need to get our food. That's why it's so crazy. So.
Yeah, that's why I haven't gone to library sales yet.
Yeah.
I'd even thinking about
buying library sale. You have to complete it yourself.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying one of those donation bin things to stick outside. So I didn't know how well that would work, but
put it where?
Well, just down at the liquor store, basically in town. But
yeah, you could do that. I have a friend that he ran a donation book bin business for years. He actually landed a sick deal where he bought bins, placed them around town, probably like 5, because they're expensive. But then he landed a deal with a big book company that had a bunch of bins around town. And he said, hey, I will go pick up all your bins, take them to my warehouse. I will process all of them, take out what I want for Amazon, palletize the rest, give it to you guys. And they were like, heck yeah, that's going to save us so much money. And so he took his bin business from like 5 bins, which were hit or miss. You'll find some locations are good, some aren't. And then now he was getting like 200 bins. He just went around and picked all of them up. And so that's another angle you could take, but it's certainly, do you have a bin already?
No, I was just looking at them used online, but
yeah, it's worth a shot. Like it would probably be profitable. I mean, it would definitely be profitable if you put it in a good spot. It's just finding that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a wealthier side of town.
Gotta have to get out of my town for that.
You could try. I mean, sometimes the thrift stores in the poor side of town are pretty good, but generally like rich people they read more and they donate more stuff. So yeah. Awesome. Anyone else want to share victories, or you guys just have general questions? Feel free to bang them out real quick before we end it.
I had another question.
Yeah, go for it.
So I went when I was at the thrift store the other day. I decided to try out a few DVDs. So I went through the DVD section and found quite a few. And on top of that, I was using Scout IQ, and I decided to try Scoutly to see, just to see the difference in all that stuff. But and Turbo Listers, I can't figure out how to use Turbo Listers, so I'm still with Go-To Lister. It's easier, but yes, it is way easier. Anyway, so I went through my seller account to get ungated for the DVDs, So when I went through there and looked them up and went through all that, and it said it was cool, and then when I put them on Go-To Lister, it told me I couldn't sell them.
Yeah. Did you look those up on Amazon again once Go-To Lister told you couldn't sell them?
Yeah, and then when it came back, it said I wasn't allowed to.
Okay, so what you can do, did it let you request approval? Did it let you request approval for the DVDs?
I'm sorry.
Did it let you request, like when you went to apply, did it say upload an invoice?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what you'll do is you go to christianbook.com, go to DVDs, find the cheapest DVD, literally $1 or $2 that you can find. I would just sort by price, buy 10 of them, upload that invoice to Amazon. It might take 13 tries, it might take more, but you'll get ungated. And you can do the same thing for CDs and really any brand. So if you come across a brand consistently, like Warner, DVDs, like there's category restrictions, which are DVDs, CDs. Books generally aren't restricted, but there's different categories on Amazon, and Amazon restricts categories. What I just told you will get the category ungated, but you can also use christianbook.com for brands, which is like DC Comics, Marvel, all those different brands, and just find the cheapest product you can. Back in the day when I started selling on Amazon, all the YouTubers wouldn't really share this advice publicly. They told me that I needed to buy a DVD that was over $25 MSRP. So I played it safe, and I bought a $40 Harry Potter DVD, and I bought 10 of them. So I spent $400 to get ungated in DVDs. You guys don't have to do that. You can literally find a DVD on this website for $3, pay $30 to get ungated, and you'll be able to sell them. So just buy 10 units, get the invoice or a receipt, and then upload that receipt and you'll get ungated.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. christianbook.com. All right.
christianbook.com.
Avery, I have a question.
Yep.
Whenever you get the library books and they have like all the stickers and all the stuff on it, are you doing just covering them up and then just sending them on?
Yeah, we don't do any prep for X library books. We just put it's X library. If there is a price on the book, you can cover it up with your F and SKU label. Hopefully the price is where you would put the F and SKU label. And then you can also get Scotty peelers and peel off the stickers. I personally don't do that because when you do that, it gets sticky. And so I would rather just get a Sharpie and mark out the price. And Amazon, they have a terms of service agreement that the customer cannot complain about the price to the seller. So if they buy the product, let's just say they buy that $200 or hopefully you sell it for $400, let's say, that book you just, you're about to list or you listed. If you saw that book and had a 99-cent Goodwill sticker on it, you can imagine the person would be kind of pissed. If they go and they leave a negative complaint, Amazon automatically strikes through it so it doesn't hurt your account. So you're protected. Would I take the sticker off on a $400 book? Probably. Would I take it off on all my books? Probably not. It's just, and when you start paying people to do this for you, I know a lot of you probably don't have that vision, but when I started my book business, I wanted to delegate everything. So I would go to thrift stores, find books, drop them off at someone's house. They would list them for me. You got to think, like, if you're telling them to peel stickers, it's going to take them twice as long to list the books. Now you're, instead of paying them, if they list 40 books an hour for, let's say, $15 an hour, all of a sudden they're only listing 20 books in an hour, and you're still paying them the same. So you always want to think of efficiency at scale. These bulk book guys who have huge warehouses, they're not peeling stickers,
So so you're saying you are fixing the book some, just not peeling the stickers off?
I would just, like, if you're concerned about it, like when I go to a used bookstore, it's got a bunch of stickers on it, I will just mark it out with a Sharpie.
No, I mean for the library books.
Oh, library books? No, just send them in.
Just send them in.
I don't do any prep. I leave the library cover on. I leave the discard thing on the back. I leave all of it. And you just put its X library in the condition note. And I would list it as acceptable.
It's acceptable. Okay.
It's not going to hurt your sales too much. Like as an FBA seller, let's just say there's a book and the low price is $10, merchant fulfilled. If you send in an acceptable book, you're going to be FBA and you could price that at $15-20. And even though it's acceptable, you'll still get the sale because you're the low FBA offer.
Okay.
Yep, you'll get the buy box. So what's up, Gene? Thanks, Beth.
It's totally different. And I've had to deal with all those stickers. I already had a heat gun, so I use that on some of them. But sending in sets of books, like I just have 11 Horatio Hornblower paperbacks. There's 11 of them. How do you pack them? Do you put them in a baggie? Do you just wrap them with saran wrap? And do you put the set F and SKU label on each one or just on one of them?
So the way you do sets, let's just say you have a set of 3 books. I'll show you real quick. So these aren't books, but they're about the size of books. These are some WWE belts that I was flipping on Amazon. So if this was a set of books, you just get some saran wrap from your kitchen, wrap it around. And then, I mean, if they were this big of books, I'd probably just put it in a box. But you want to make sure they don't move around. So assuming they're 3 small books, 3 is probably the limit. Maybe 4 you could saran wrap. You saran wrap them, and then you'll put the F and SKU label on the outside.
On the outside of the saran. Okay.
Yeah, and then I also just take a blank F and SKU label, put it on, and write, "This is one complete set. Do not separate." Or you can also buy these labels. You can, since you guys have printers, you can. You guys should all have 4x6 labels for the Rolo. Just Google, "This is one complete set. Do not separate." There's PDFs out there that'll print that on your 4x6 label, and then you can put it on the outside of the set. So that's how you pack smaller sets. For bigger sets, let's just say you have like a 20 volume set you want to send, you would get a heavy duty box and you would put all the books in the box. And if the box was over 50 pounds, you would write on the outside "Team Lift," and you would also put the F and SKU label, the little tiny F and SKU label on the outside. And then you would also put "This is one complete set. Do not separate." So you put 3, and then you'd also put the shipping label on a huge set. So you put 4. There we go, right there. Celeste has them. Where'd you get those, Celeste? Do you want to share where you?
Amazon, of course.
We.
It just says sold as set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that, or if you're super cheap like me, you can also find the dimensions on Google too, and print them on your regular printers.
Yeah. I packed a couple sets. One, it was really thick. I put it in a small box, taped it up, and put the sticker on it and the SKU on the outside. The other one, I put in a poly bag, the see-through one. Same thing, wrapped it up, put extra tape, and then sold a set and put the SKU on the outside.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. Other burning questions before we get out of here? What's that, Rich?
Yeah, so for real quick, man, for libraries, how does that work? Like, libraries, you just go in and buy books from libraries, or like, how does that work?
Well, libraries have ongoing sales. So if you go to a library, most libraries in America have a group called Friends of the Library. I'm sure it's the same in Canada, some similar type group. And then they just have an ongoing book sale that's outside. They also have closets filled with book donations oftentimes. So you can say, "Hey, I looked through the books up front. Are there any books in the back I could look through?" And then there's also ongoing library sale, not ongoing, but annual or biannual or every couple months library sales. You go to booksalefinder.com and find all the library sales that advertise this. I would put all the library sales in your calendar, show up early, buy the Friends of the Library membership. That means you get in early access. And also call the libraries in your local area and say, "Hey, do you guys have any big library sales coming up?" And just put them all in your calendar, and it's free money. You'll make several $100s profit, if not thousands. If you get a library sale yourself, you'll make 1,000+ profit in a day. 100%. What's up, Rich?
Yeah, just real quick. I noticed I scan a book that I'm trying to sell, but then the cover art that comes up on Amazon is different from the cover art on my book.
Yeah, I just put so just like we put X Library to put the disclaimer out there so we don't get high returns, you'll put cover art is slightly different than pictured, and just put that in the condition note.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
what I did, but I just wondered if the customer is going to get a surprise when he gets that book, and he's going to
very low chance, unless it's like an art book or something like really specific, where they wanted like a coffee table book or something. And obviously, if it's a beautiful coffee table book and it doesn't have the dust cover, you probably don't want to. You could sell it 100%, but you just risk a higher rate return. But again, like, I like to look at what these bulk sellers are doing, and what they do is they just list it. They match the ISBN with the Amazon listing. If it's slightly different, like, you got to realize these employees are scanning super fast. Like, they're not even looking to make sure it matches, because Amazon's only going to show you results for that ISBN. So, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome.
May I say something to that?
Yeah, go for it. What's up, Brian?
Don't forget, you also have that see all formats and bindings, hypertext link next to the used price and new price and all that stuff. If you see that the cover art's different, don't pass up the opportunity to click on that and see if you can find an existing listing that has the matching cover art. Sometimes it's just a couple underneath. And it also helps to match up the publisher and year of publication sometimes.
So where are you looking at that?
On the product listing page, there's usually a hypertext link to the right of the used and new hardcover paperback thing. The little boxes just to the right of that. And if you open that up, it'll create a dialog box just like in Amazon Prime or used, kind of like that, but it'll show all of the different variations of that listing.
Nice. That's awesome. Thanks for that.
I just take a picture of the cover, and once it's listed, I use my phone, and then you can just put the picture on there, and it'll show on the side where it shows all of the sellers. Your picture will show up, and it'll show you have, the cover is different.
So you're uploading that picture where, in Seller Central?
Yeah, in Seller Central.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good tips. But at the end of the day, if you accidentally sell, like if you sell a book and the artwork's different, like it happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. They change them.
Yeah. Other questions? All right, Myra, how we doing? Haven't heard from you at all. You're muted. Hold on, let me ask you to unmute yourself real quick. 1 second. You should be able to click a button on your screen and unmute. There you go.
I have a bad cough, so I've been trying not to talk.
Okay.
Hopefully it won't start.
Okay.
I've been going about 3 weeks now. I've sent 6 boxes in for 88 books of 108 sales so far with a $48 profit.
Thank you.
A little slow for me. I feel like I'm from a smaller town, so I'm limited on thrift stores, libraries. I ventured out an hour one direction last week. Actually, I did find a library sale that was selling books for 25 cents and 50 cents on the HyperX. But I was only able to get about 20 plus books from there because it's all small towns around me. I'm in Idaho.
Awesome.
But I am going the last weekend of the month, 4 hours from here, there's a book sale with 40,000 books. So I'm going to attempt going there. So
nice.
Words of wisdom of how to tackle that and what kind of boxes and stuff I should be prepared with.
Yeah. So yeah, I would get like a little dolly. You can buy something like this on Amazon.
I have that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would get a couple boxes at least, and then take it slow. Don't freak out. Get there early. Go to nonfiction at the beginning. I've heard people say they want to go to fiction at the beginning. Don't go to fiction at the beginning. Scan the nonfiction books first, and then if it's that big of a sale, they probably bring out new inventory as the day goes on. Just keep an eye out for it. Listen for carts rolling out. Try to make friends with all the people there. Explain what you're doing. They'll know what you're doing. Like all the sellers are going to be there. But if you just are nice to them, you could bring them coffee if you want, and then that way they'll let you know, hey, we got fresh books here. We have books in the back, and just be ready to grind. Like it's going to be a long day. It might feel like you should leave after the first hour because everything's gone. It's not. Keep scanning. Go to different sections after it's all over with. Go to the sections that people didn't go to. So children's section, stuff like that. You'll find good books there. And then if you're not getting any hits after a couple hours, start looking up the non-barcode books. So I would still scan all the books, but then I would pull out the non-barcode books one by one, and I would batch those together. Either get the Amazon Seller app and just scan them one by one, the cover, and look them up. But there's a ton of profit to be had, even after a couple hours after the library sale, there's still a lot of profit to be had. So yeah. Have fun.
For 2 days. It said Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't think they're selling Friday, but I'm going to be there Friday in case they have a preview. But I'm planning on staying the weekend, so if they keep bringing out,
that I would definitely ask that, because if they are bringing out, you could stay there the whole weekend. If they're not bringing out, it's going to be more of a grind. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, thanks guys for coming to the call tonight. I'll see you guys in a week. Keep feeding the beast. And if you guys have questions at all, reach out in the Feed the Beast community, Facebook group. We got that group chat going. So much love. See you guys soon. Peace.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.